Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to NoDQ video here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRift NoDQ. It's time to talk about Smackdown Live. So let me preface this by saying Smackdown was way better than Raw, but that's obvious. That is a no-brainer. Pretty much any show WWE could throw together would be better than this week's Monday Night Raw. Anyways, how good was SmackDown? Let's go ahead and break it down. So, the show opened up with Paige introducing Becky Lynch. By the way, there's a dead body. That's why I'm trying to hide it from the authorities. Obviously, I'm kidding, but am I now? Okay, so anyways, Paige introduced Becky Lynch. So right there, we already have SmackDown better than Raw. Becky Lynch, the man, complete with a brand new Titantron. And I thought it looked really cool. Becky came out and she cut a promo. She talked about how any time away is too long to be gone. She called out Charlotte. Charlotte came out, and then Becky proceeded to talk about how the beating was good to Ronda, but not quite as good as the beating that Becky would have given Ronda Rousey. Becky says if it was her and not Charlotte given the beating, Ronda would not have been on Monday Night Raw. Becky then said that it took Charlotte channeling her, Becky, in order to give that beating to Ronda Rousey. Charlotte said that's not the case. She was just being her, and she's genetically superior. And Becky said that she beat the phoniness out of Charlotte over the past couple months, and that's why Charlotte is this new Charlotte, basically. Charlotte said that all Becky has done is mimic her father, Ric Flair. So it's a little back and forth between the two of them. Charlotte said she was willing to fight right there, right now. But then we had the heel SmackDown women's roster come out. Mandy Rose, Zelina Vega, Iconics, Sonya Deville. They all came out. They wanted an opportunity at the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Then we had Naomi and the baby faces, Naomi, Asuka, Carmella, and Lana come out. Crowd started chanting Asuka as Naomi was cutting a promo. Tony H with the first Super Chat of the night, Super Chat time. He says the man is greater than Raw times 100. Try 1,000 while we're at it. I mean, yeah, Becky Lynch coming out right there. We already have a better show than the entire Monday Night Raw. $2 Super Chat time from Sean Warrington. He also says that SmackDown was way better than Raw. Thank you for that, Sean. We had Naomi talk about how they also wanted an opportunity. So Paige decided to up the ante a little bit. So at first it was going to be a one-on-one TLC match between Becky Lynch and Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship, the first ever women's TLC match. However, Paige decided to spice things up, and she announced a battle royal for the main event, with the winner being added to the match at TLC, making it a triple threat TLC match. And that would be the main event segment of the show, the battle royal. So we'll get to that here in just a little bit. Marcus the God with a $2 Super Chat donation. Are you a Mandy or a Sonya guy? Well, I'm pretty sure Sonya's into women, so I'm just going to say Mandy. Because to my knowledge, she is into guys. So I would go with the woman that likes guys. So yeah, I would pick Mandy over the two of them. I would probably go with Mandy either way, just because she's hot. I'll admit it, she's pretty hot. Next up, we had the Usos versus The Bar. Tag team match. Thumbs up for the Usos getting some TV time, and thumbs up for the Bar getting TV time. This always makes me happy that these guys get their TV time. Very good stuff here. So anyways, before the match got going, however, we had the funny moment of the night, the unintentional funny moment of the night at least. So they showed footage of the Bar and Big Show before the show, behind the scenes, and they were arguing. The Bar's pissed off about Big Show not helping them during the Thanksgiving feast and basically being the reason they lost. Show was not having any of it, and he proceeded to punch out Cesaro. And Nick NP with a $2 super chat time. He says, cool to see SmackDown and 205 roster on stage 2 to salute Jeff. Thank you for the super chat. However, you are sending that super chat at the wrong time. Just a reminder to everybody, I appreciate the super chats very much, but please try to send them when I'm talking about a specific topic. So if you want to talk about Jeff Hardy, send the super chat when I'm talking about Jeff Hardy. Thank you though for the super chat. I do appreciate it. You guys in the chat room gotta keep everybody up to speed on this in case I forget or some people are just tuning in. So yeah, Big Show punched out Cesaro, which means, I guess technically, the Big Show is a babyface again. How long was that? Like a month and a half? Big Show already back to being a babyface. No more Bar and Big Show combination. Wow. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. It's just so ridiculous now. Although I'm the one that suggested the idea that WWE should just have Big Show turn every single week. Make that his gimmick. The guy that's always changing his role every single week. The bipolar show or something like that, as I think Kayfabe Candy Ass pointed out. They might as well make a gimmick out of it where every week he's in a different mood and you never know who he's going to align with. They might as well, because the Big Show, according to TJS, the Big Show has turned 38 times in his wrestling career now. Interstate Kyle pointed out that a couple of those may not count and it's kind of pushing it a little bit, but I believe at least 30. I think definitely 30 on that list are legitimate turns, or could at least be considered legitimate turns. It's so ridiculous. I don't even know what else to say about it. So anyways, back to the match. We had a really good match between the Usos and the Bar. I love the uppercuts by Cesaro to counteract the Usos. There was one where one of the Usos was jumping over the top and got caught with an uppercut. And then another time they were going for the big splash and Cesaro countered with an uppercut. Those are so awesome. I love those uppercut counters. They look so good. The Usos did eventually win the match by pinning Cesaro with a splash. So there you go. Looks like the Usos will be challenging the Bar for the tag team titles. I'm all for it. I enjoyed this match better than anything on Raw. So already 2 segments, already better than Raw. So we're off to a really good start here. We had a backstage segment, but before I get to that, $2 super chat time from Ken, terminated by Google. He says, Paul White turns are making me feel like Rift on Raw. Okay. Not quite sure what to make of that sentence, but thank you for that. Noah Foster, our good buddy, the Simple Man, with a $5 super chat donation. He says, should Cesaro and Sheamus break up if they lose the titles? I would say no, because my fear is both of them would get lost in the shuffle, and they're in a pretty good spot right now. They were off TV for a little bit, but now they're back in the mix. They're the tag champs. So I say no, don't break them up. You know, they exceeded expectations as a tag team. I would say keep them together. They're better off stronger than apart as far as I'm concerned. So next up, we had the backstage segment with The Miz and New Day. The New Day were laughing at Miz jobbing out last week against one of the Bryant brothers. And there was a bunch of jokes about the Marine. The Miz said the people that like the Marine are Mariners. And this was pretty lame. This was, in my opinion, the first lame thing on the show. The Miz talked about how he wanted a match with one of the guys, and they were making fun of him some more. They started rhyming a bunch of things, like the name of the guy. Who was the guy that beat you? Was it Kane? They started singing "This Fire Burns," which was actually kind of cute. Kofi brought out a picture of Kairi Sane. So wow, this sure comes off like a predetermined scripted promo. We just happened to have a picture of Kairi Sane on him, and they knew Miz was going to come in there so they could make a joke at him. Yeah, overall, I thought this was pretty lame. I know some of you thought it was funny. Some of you loved the New Day, but it came off so overly choreographed, and the humor feels so forced to me personally. So yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it. It did lead to Miz versus Kofi, which I will get to later. So next up, we had AJ Styles coming out for his big return after being gone for 2 weeks. They hyped it up like, oh my goodness, AJ Styles is finally back, and he's only been gone for 2 weeks, whatever. They did show a recap, but thankfully the recaps are a lot shorter because SmackDown is a 2-hour show, and WWE doesn't drag things out with the overly long recaps, so that's good. You know, I don't mind the recaps if they're short and to the point, and you don't have them for every single segment. AJ talked about how he was gone from Survivor Series and SmackDown because of what Bryan did to him after their WWE title match, kicking him repeatedly. He was not cleared to return. And then AJ brought up how Bryan was not at the live events and was not there at SmackDown, and basically said that Bryan is mimicking Monday Night Raw in their situation, which got the O's from the crowd. That was a pretty cool dig at Raw right there. AJ brought up how he never misses an event, and he said he's definitely going to be there for TLC, and he told Bryan to bring the WWE Championship. So there you go. That was the promo. Not bad from AJ. He does have a new t-shirt. This is the one that I got from Pro Wrestling Crate, so go check them out. Cheap plug for them, ProWrestlingCrate.com. And speaking of cheap plugs, I would like to give a shout out to Heel by Nature, who has been providing some content on NoDQ.com. Go check out his channel at Heel by Nature. Really good guy. Go check out his stuff. Then we had another video package for the Freak, Lars Sullivan. Is he a genetic freak, though? That's what I want to know. But they're calling him the Freak. They're calling him the Game Changer. The announcers once again said what Michael Cole mentioned on Raw about both sides bidding for his services. So he's going to be doing this free agent gimmick. Next up, we had Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the battle of the two guys that struggle to get TV time despite having strong followings. But they did at least have a segment here, although there wasn't a match or anything. Basically, Nakamura jumped him from behind before the match got started, hit him with a Kinshasa, and then hit him with a second one on the outside, and that was the segment. But at least we finally have a storyline and a program, and something's going on with the U.S. Championship. So there you go. Then we had the Jeff Hardy celebration for 20 years of his career in WWE, to celebrate 20 years that he signed a WWE deal. So I guess he signed around Survivor Series in 98. I know they were doing like enhancement matches. And remember, for those of you that do not remember, the night after Kane debuted, the night after Bad Blood, the two guys he beat up, the Hardy Boys. Little trivia note there. I know a little bit. I know I lost the trivia match, and I'm sorry to everyone. Go check it out if you haven't already, by the way. It was a really good match. Good luck to Scott. I think the guy is really knowledgeable, and Jeff Meacham, you better watch out. You got, I mean, the favorites for the trivia challenge, Jeff, Brian Zane, Chris Cass, David Diaz, they got their work cut out for them because there are some dark horse candidates to win this trivia tournament. So make sure you guys keep up with it. We've had some really good matches. Greg added the scoreboard, which I know a lot of you wanted. So for those of you that gave up on it, you should definitely give it another try. The tournament has been great so far. We've had some great matches. The scoreboard's back. Greg also added some graphics with the questions on. So the production values are really good. Check it out. And we have some great contenders. All right, back to the Jeff Hardy celebration of his career. So the locker room emptied out. There was a big video package that was really cool, showing his career in WWE. Hardy reflected on it with a promo, talked about how it's so crazy to see all those things that he did back in the day. He said at least his face paint is better now. He thanked the fans for everything, but noted that this was not a retirement speech and there's still more to do. That led to Samoa Joe coming out, and this is when things got really fun. So Joe proceeded to just be a complete savage here. He started referencing Jeff's drug and alcohol addiction problems. He brought up how he wanted to bring out champagne, but he felt like with Jeff there, that probably wasn't a good idea. And then he also said that Jeff was probably too messed up to remember all the moments in the video package. Then he said he's not a fan of Jeff Hardy getting a second chance when people like him have not even gotten a first chance. I guess now we have to just ignore all the WWE title matches that Joe got, but whatever. I mean, he is a heel after all, so that's something a heel would say. You know, a heel would say, I've never gotten a chance, when in reality they did. Then he said that he would help Jeff. He would put him in a one-step program, and he promised that it would be painless. So this was a great promo by Joe. I thought his delivery was outstanding. Jeff responded by saying he wasn't going to let Joe spoil his parade. And he said he was up for a match right there, but Joe was like, nah, another day. So looks like we got a feud between those two coming up soon. Herman with a $2 super chat donation. Thank you for that. Joe remembers TNA Victory Road debacle, LOL. You know, that would be funny if they could actually acknowledge that and show the footage. But I don't think they're going to do that. Tony H with the $2 super chat time. I feel that this could be the Punk Hardy from 2009 feud. I agree. I definitely got flashbacks to that. Maybe a better version of that. Although that was an awesome feud. And I love, you know, just a little bit of memory road here. I love when CM Punk came out right after SummerSlam and was dressed up as Jeff Hardy. And they showed this fan with the poofy hair who was just not amused at all. That was so amazing. Kayfabe Candy Ass says Jeff was so hot in 2009. I'm not sure if he's talking about like hot good looking or just hot as far as being popular goes. Maybe both. Who knows? Anyways, we had Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. As I mentioned earlier, they set this match up during that backstage promo. The crowd chanted, "We want pancakes." So, you know, the crowd still loves the pancakes gimmick. I just roll my eyes when that happens, especially when Byron Saxton marks out for the pancakes and marks out for New Day in general. The Miz tried to cheat in this match. He tried to get a steel chair. However, Xavier Woods prevented that from happening, and then Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise. Then there was a backstage thing with The Miz yelling at Shane McMahon, saying, "Where were you out there? I needed your help." And then Miz said that the trophy, our trophy, has been neglected, and he said it's our child. And he said that they make damn good parents. I mean, this was just cheesy comedy. The crowd did find some of it funny, though, so whatever. Ken Terminated by Google with a $2 super chat time says, "Frankly, you did an immaculate job in Wrestling Trivia Challenge. Rift is the man, hashtag." Well, thank you for that, Ken. I'm glad that you enjoyed the match. I did my best, though, but Scott really surprised me. He is very knowledgeable, and I think he's got a real shot at beating Jeff. So again, make sure you guys check out that match and check out the rest of Wrestling Trivia Challenge when you get the opportunity. So I'm not sure how I feel about The Miz. I mean, he's basically doing comedy at this point. He's like a comedy mid-carder at best. It's funny, but I feel like poor Miz, the guy could be so much more. He's gotten so much better over the years, and yeah, I'm a little bummed out that he's not getting like another big push, you know? It would be cool, but his character doesn't really fit that main event role, even though his delivery on the mic and even in the ring, he's gotten really good to a main event level. But yeah, the character still has that mid-card vibe to it, the cowardly goofball heel that he is. Now, on the flip side, talking about a more serious, credible heel, we had Randy Orton come out with Rey Mysterio's mask. He called the mask a piece of trash. He said Mysterio is just another victim. So I wonder if Taz had a problem with that line. We'll have to wait and see. Orton said that Mysterio just found out about the most 3 destructive letters in wrestling, the R, K, and then we had Rey Mysterio's music interrupt. Mysterio came out, they had a brawl. Mysterio was wearing a neck brace, but he still went after Orton. He went to get a steel chair after hitting a 619. He was going to use the chair, however, Randy Orton was able to get the chair from him and use the chair on Mysterio and put the chair around his bad neck and threw it into the ring post. So Randy Orton got the best of Rey Mysterio again. Looks like we have a $5 super chat time from Mike B. He says, sorry I'm late, just coming back from the Sabres game. Missed Smackdown Live, I'm going to watch it tomorrow when I get home from work. And what else did he say? He said, you're awesome, bro. Well, thank you for that, Mike B. I appreciate it. I have no idea what the Sabres are, if they're a football team or a basketball team or a hockey team. I have no idea. I'm not the sports person, so yeah. But thank you very much. You are amazing, and I really do appreciate your support. Okay, they are a hockey team. All right, well, thank you guys for that. Now here come the 500 comments about hockey. Sorry, guys, I don't watch sports, so I couldn't tell you a baseball team from a basketball team. Anyways, we had the main event, which was the Women's Battle Royal. There were only like 10 women in this match, basically. It was the 5 babyface women and the 5 Smackdown heel women. So yeah, just a small battle royal. Zelina Vega was eliminated first by Lana, and then she went after Lana, but Lana was not eliminated. However, Lana did get eliminated by the Iconics. Asuka eliminated both of the Iconics with her butt bop. Naomi did the splits on the apron, which was a pretty cool spot in the match. I did like that. Naomi eliminated Mandy, but then Sonya Deville eliminated Naomi. At some point, Carmella got eliminated, I think, by Asuka. And then we had it down to Asuka and Sonya Deville. Mandy Rose tried to interfere and help her friend, but it was to no avail. The two of them, Asuka and Sonya, ended up on the apron, battling it out, but then they hit each other with a double kick, and there was a little tease that both of them might go out at the same time. But then Asuka, with a knee to the face, knocked Sonya Deville out, and there you have it. Asuka wins a big match here and will now go on to the TLC pay-per-view to face both Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship Triple Threat TLC match. First ever women's TLC match in WWE, to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure it is. So there you go. I think it's a hot match. I'm really looking forward to this one at the TLC pay-per-view. Jeff McMahon says, I think the Battle Royal was booked very well. I agree. So, letter grade for the show. Way better than Raw, obviously. I like the fact that we have some new feuds established. The point of the TV shows should be to advance storylines, not just do random filler matches and drag things out. The show was a lot faster paced than Raw. We got several matches set up, several programs. Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy, Rusev versus Nakamura, Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. I liked the show. I enjoyed it. Offman Rules with a $2 super chat time. Is there still some hope from Asuka? Well, I do not think she's winning at TLC, but I think it's cool that she's getting the match. I like the triple threat. It sounds interesting to me. I think it's going to be a solid match, so I'm all for it. And I like the fact that they're changing it up, because let's face it, we already saw Charlotte and Becky in that last woman standing, and that was really the blow-off for the feud. So I like that it's kind of going in a little bit of a different direction now instead of doing yet another one-on-one match. That's what I like, when we don't see the same thing over and over again. So yeah, I like the match a lot. I think it's going to be a hot one. And that could be the match of the night. I mean, I definitely see that being the most anticipated match on the card. And I'm glad Becky's back. I mean, this means Becky's cleared and she's going to be able to return and not drop the title or anything like that. Good show. I give this SmackDown a solid B. Very entertaining show. I recommend checking it out. Just night and day. As somebody in the chat room said, it's really hard to imagine the same company that's responsible for Raw is responsible for SmackDown. And let's face it, Raw is run by Vince McMahon. SmackDown is run by Vince McMahon. So why is one show so bad compared to the other? That is one of the mysteries of life. It could be a combination of different writers and maybe this philosophy that Raw needs to be more sports entertainment and SmackDown can be more about just storytelling in the ring. Maybe it's the fact that SmackDown's 2 hours. I mean, I think it's a little bit of all those things. I really do think 3 hours hurts Raw a lot because they do have the tendency to really just drag the segments out. Some of the segments on Raw that I thought were not good, I think could have been better if they were half as long. For instance, that beatdown on Elias to kick off Raw, that did not need to take up that much TV time. They could have gotten that done and got the storyline moving in half the time. If it was on SmackDown, it would have been half the time. So yeah, the 3 hours of Raw, it sucks, but as long as the ratings are halfway decent, let's face it, Raw will remain 3 hours. If USA Network is happy with the numbers, they're gonna insist on 3 hours, and WWE will take the money. You know, they are a business. So if USA Network is going to pay them for 3 hours, then Raw is 3 hours, and that's the bottom line. There's not much any of us can do about it. Now, as far as next week goes, like I said, I am boycotting Raw for 1 week. I will not be watching Raw. I urge everyone out there to do the same thing as me. Take a week off, and let's see what happens. Probably nothing. I mean, I'm going to be flat out here. NoDQ.com is just a small part of the wrestling community. But if we all bond together, you know, if the other podcasters out there, the other sites, we all get together, let's try it. It hasn't been attempted. And there's a saying, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So if people never protested anything, changes would never be made. You got to start somewhere. You got to try. You got to make the effort. So I say that we do something here. We try. Let's just all skip Raw next week. None of you guys cheat on me. Don't watch another podcast or review. But encourage the other reviewers out there to take the week off. Let's skip Raw. Let's just not watch Monday Night Raw next week and see what happens. Probably nothing, but it's worth a shot. And I will make up for it. Tuesday night after Raw, I will do a longer edition of NoDQ Live. And this one's actually been a decent length, but I'll do an even longer one next Tuesday to make up for NoDQ Live on Monday night. So be on the lookout for an extended edition of NoDQ Live next Tuesday. 1 week from now, I will be back with NoDQ Live. But in the meantime, there will be more content over on NoDQ.com. NoDQ video will be going up. Wrestling Trivia Challenge, maybe NoDQ review. We'll have to wait and see on that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the very latest WWE news and rumors. And I will see you guys next time for more. Take care.